everyone, and welcome to my kitchen again. I'm happy to be back. My name is Judy Matuski, and I'm a registered and licensed dietitian nutritionist. And I am here to cook with you with 5 ingredients or less. This is going to be a new series that I'd like to try to start on Thursdays at noon, at least most Thursdays. And we're going to feature, at least 1 or 2 new recipes each week, focusing on recipes that are really easy to cook and put together. I'm using the term recipes sort of loosely. It's more of an assembly of ingredients, but I feel like that's really the way all of us would prefer to be cooking these days. I love to cook and I don't mind spending a lot of time in the kitchen, but I am always looking for quick and easy recipes. So I'm coming to you today with our first of the series, and with 4th of July just around the corner, I thought it might be fun to do a really quick salad, and we're going to base it on 4 specific ingredients that are going to come together, and we'll talk a little bit about some swaps that you might want to make if you prefer not to use some of the ingredients that I'm using today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a quick video, so the whole point is to kind of get you in and get you out and give you a new recipe to try. All right, so we're going to start with watermelon. That is the main ingredient in this recipe. I cut my watermelon in half, and I was going to just cut this half to just show you maybe an easy way to cube up a watermelon for a salad. I know when I'm teaching cooking classes, I do get this question quite a bit, so I thought I would do that on camera for you today. Okay, so watermelon. We're gonna just take this watermelon and we're gonna just cut it right in half. So you wanna make sure you have a nice sharp knife. So just slice it right through the middle. And then once you have each half, I'll set this one off to the side. All right, so you have your half a watermelon, and you're just gonna take your knife and just run your knife right around the watermelon, close to the rind. Just bring it all the way up through, completely around the watermelon. So that knife has kind of gone all the way through. And then you're gonna take your knife and then just do some little cuts straight through down from the top to the bottom. And this is where you can make these cuts thicker or closer together depending on how big you want the cubes of the watermelon. So once you have those cuts straight through from top to bottom, you're just going to take your knife. Now we're going to just slice right into the watermelon. And this is kind of, more horizontal across. And then the final cut is to come down from the top. And this is, again, you can pick the size of the cubes that you want. I'm going to go pretty small for this one. So you're just going to come straight down. And once you finish up with that, now you have all of these great cubes of watermelon contained in the rind. And I'm going to bring over this clear black glass bowl, which is what we're going to use to layer the salad. So now if you just pull these through, you've got your little watermelon cubes, and they're pretty uniform in size, which makes it nice, especially when you're trying to put a salad together. All right, so I wanted to show you that real quick. That's just a super easy little tip on how you can kind of get through your watermelon. You can do this for any melons for that matter. All right, so we're using watermelon, and just a real quick tip about watermelon nutritionally. So what I'd like to do is combine nutrition, cooking tips, easy cooking tips along with some nutrition tips as well. So watermelon is incredibly high in a compound called lycopene, and lycopene is what gives it this red color. And this is a plant compound. It's not a nutrient, but it's a plant compound that has some pretty strong anti-inflammatory components to it. And it seems to be, with the research, it seems to demonstrate some reduced risk for prostate cancer and also improved cardiovascular health. And what's great about watermelon is that lycopene is a particular compound that isn't quite as easily absorbed. So it's in tomatoes, but a tomato needs to be cooked, and it kind of needs to be in the presence of maybe some oil for your body to absorb the lycopene. But with watermelon, the way that lycopene is very easily absorbed. So that's fantastic. And it's about 40% higher in lycopene than a raw tomato. So we're getting the benefits there. And there's an interesting amino acid that is present in watermelon that is recently being studied studied for its ability to improve blood flow, which certainly can play a role in reducing cardiovascular risk. So there's some really great benefits to add watermelon to your diet. And not to mention that it's absolutely delicious, especially in the summer. It's so refreshing and you can use it in a lot of different ways. All right, so we have our watermelon in the bowl. Next ingredient, we're just gonna do some layering, all right? So I have some blueberries, and these are local Jersey blueberries right now, so they're in season and delicious. So now we're just taking these and we're just gonna layer these right on top. And the whole idea is just to get this color, going. So we've got our, our red, white, and blue kind of theme here. So we'll put about half the container of the blueberries in. And then we're gonna use some feta cheese here as our white component. And what I love about feta cheese is that it adds this salty element, which is nice to, kind of contrast and complements the sweetness of the fruit, but it's not overpowering. And you don't need a whole lot. So a little bit goes a long way. So we're gonna just sprinkle some in. I have a little stem here in my blueberry. And we're just gonna sprinkle this in right on top. And this will just give this salad a little bit of an interesting flavor, as well as sort of turns it into more of a salad than a fruit dessert. All right, so bring that in. And what I like about feta, I love to use feta cheese as well. I like to use a lot of the stronger cheeses when I'm cooking because then you don't need quite as much. So a little bit tends to go a long way. And feta cheese is one of those cheeses that is a little bit lower in saturated fat. So for anybody that's really watching their cholesterol levels, feta cheese is a better choice than some of the other harder cheeses. All right, so we've got our feta, we have our blueberries, and now what I'm going to do is I have some fresh mint that just got picked from the garden. My husband has a beautiful herb garden, so we're going to just put this gorgeous green mint. Now this is spearmint, so the two most common mints that we're probably going to come across are going to be spearmint and peppermint. And this is spearmint. Spearmint is the type of mint that we cook with most often. So peppermint is great in teas. So you can make a tea with peppermint, and peppermint is great for like sort of if you have a little bit of an upset stomach. Sometimes a nice peppermint tea is helpful, but that's not really typically cooking with peppermint. So spearmint's really the way to go. This, we don't need a whole lot, just a little bit that we're going to sprinkle right on top, and I'll show you this in a minute, just for a little extra color. And now we're just going to go back and we're going to do the same thing that we just did, but we're going to just continue that layering. So I already have some additional watermelon already cubed up, so I'm going to put this back in, and we're just going to do another layer of this incredibly gorgeous. This is a really nice bright red watermelon. And the great thing about watermelon too is the riper the watermelon, not only doesn't it taste great, but it's higher in lycopene. So the more ripe the watermelon, the higher that plant compound is in the watermelon. All right, and then we're going to do that next layer. We're going to finish off this container of blueberries. And I think we all know blueberries are incredible. Talk about it. Talk about a pretty powerful antioxidant dish. We've got it here, with blueberries being one of the highest in flavonoids, particularly wild blueberries. But even more domesticated blueberries are really high in flavonoids, which are, again, a family of antioxidants. So we have got a pretty antioxidant-rich salad going here. So blueberries, that beautiful blue, like purple pigment, is really coming from these flavonoids. All right, then we're going to do a little, just a final sprinkle of some of the feta. So we'll put that back on, and let's just grab a little bit more mint. And I'm going to just chiffonade. So let me just show you that real quick. And again, because I'm not really sure of everybody's cooking skills, so I don't want to, jump through something if you're not familiar with that. But if you're taking herbs, whether it's basil, whether it's fresh sage, or mint, just kind of layer it together and kind of roll it up a little bit, and then just take your knife and run it right through it. And that's called a chiffonade, and that really gives you a nice thin strip of herb. Because with herbs in particular, they're pretty pungent. Their flavor is pretty strong. So you don't necessarily want to be biting into a big piece of it when you're eating something. So when you chiffonade it, it really just helps you to get it into smaller, finer, thinner pieces. So again, we're gonna just layer that on top, and then let's just let me just wipe off my board here a little bit. Let's just take a little sprig of mint, and we're just gonna put that right on top, and here you have it. So this is this antioxidant rich, incredibly delicious, super simple, 4-ingredient salad that you can certainly make at home, or it's a great salad to go. So if you're going to a picnic or a barbecue, this would be a really great one to take. Now, if you want to bring it up a notch and take it up maybe to 5 ingredients or more, you can add some other things. Like I have this really deliciously flavored and aged balsamic vinegar, and it is really more on the sweet side than on like the sour side of a balsamic vinegar. So this you could drizzle on top. I would only drizzle this on as you serve it. So because the color of this balsamic is going to certainly change the color of your salad, but when you're serving it, a little drizzle would be absolutely delicious on this. If you're not sure about feta cheese, if you want to mix it up, you could swap out the feta cheese for coconut. I think that would be really great in this salad, and then it almost becomes a little more of a dessert. So if you want to go towards lean towards a dessert, swap out the feta for some coconut. You can always certainly use blackberries instead of blueberries. You could use strawberries in here as well. You could do a combination of strawberries and tomatoes, like some fresh tomatoes when they're in season, with the watermelon. You can really change and swap this out. I think even fresh basil would be pretty amazing in here instead of the mint. So try a couple of different things if you would like, but this is a very fast and easy salad for any barbecue. Okay, we're gonna have this recipe up on we'll put the link up in the comment section, which will take you to our recipe blog, which is judymatusky.com, where a lot of our recipes live. So you'll be able to get the recipe there. And what I thought I would do, because I knew this was going to be a really quick recipe, how about if we do a second real fast one? This is going to be a really easy, simple dessert. So grab like a really pretty container. You could use your plastic ware for outdoor entertaining, but something really cute I think helps to elevate this to making it a little bit special, because it's really super simple. All right, so I have some Breyers ice cream, and no affiliation with Breyers, but I do like Breyers ice cream for a lot of reasons, but this one is just their natural vanilla, and it's really only a few ingredients, which is great. And it's just naturally a little bit lower in fat. So it's lower in saturated fat than some of those really higher premium ice creams, but it still has a great flavor. So I tend to, lean towards like the Breyers brand, because I don't really want the ultra rich, higher fat ice creams. I don't know, to me, they just make me kind of feel bad. I don't seem to digest them really well. So I'd rather go, just a regular ice cream. It doesn't have to be low fat, but I do like the Breyers brand for flavor as well as for ingredients. Okay, so we're gonna just take a nice scoop. Half a cup is a serving of ice cream, and now it says 2/3 of a cup on the label, which is fine, but you don't need a whole lot. So, all right, so we're just gonna take a scoop of this ice cream, and we'll put that in our beautiful glass dish. All right, and then I sliced up some strawberries. So again, strawberry season. Strawberries are excellent right now, so grab them while you can. And I'm just gonna layer a few strawberries on here. For me, the more the better. I think you can never get too much fruit when you're creating a dessert. All right, so we have some strawberries. And then what we're gonna do to finish this is we're gonna go back to that balsamic vinegar that I mentioned earlier to use maybe on the watermelon salad. And again, you're not gonna use a store brand balsamic vinegar on this. It's just going to be way too sharp, too strong in a vinegar flavor. You're going to really want a better, more aged balsamic vinegar that's thick and a little bit sweet. So you'll take the, you're just going to take your balsamic vinegar, and it's just a little bit of a drizzle right over the top. And there you have it. That is it. So this is, I think, an absolutely beautiful, simple, yet somewhat elegant summer dessert. And, easy, again, it's all about easy. So if you're having an entertaining, you've got two really easy, simple, fast, yet nutritious. I mean, they're healthy options for your summer barbecues or your summer events. So please enjoy. If you want to keep trying to join me, I would love that. I'm going to be here most Thursdays. I'm not here next Thursday, just before the 4th of July weekend, but I'm going to try to be here at noontime on Thursdays for like a 15-minute, 5-ingredient or less recipe, and we'll start to build out a really nice library for you. So thanks for joining. If you have any comments, please let me know. Make some comments on Facebook, and I will certainly get back to you. You can always reach out to us. We have dietitians available to meet with you one-on-one. Should you feel that you want something a little more personalized, we're certainly here to help. All right, so take care and enjoy the rest of this absolutely gorgeous day. Bye-bye now.